Bill again with Eastern Iowa Firearms Training, and we're out at our local range, and I have the LC9. Going to take a couple rounds here, and I'm shooting against a standard IDPA target, but then I have a target centered on it that I use in the classes. So we'll see what that looks like. Just some general thoughts on what I like to do. First time I fired this pistol on the range. So what we're going to do is we're going to put one round in the magazine. We'll load it up, shoot it off, and then we'll go from there. So let's do that first. Remember, general safety on the range. Always keep your pistols pointed in a safe direction. Never put ammunition in until you're ready to use it, and always pointed in a safe direction. One round on the LC9, first shot out of the box. Pretty good kick. Nice recoil. Notice that it locks back. That is something different than on the pistol below this size, the LCP. This one does indeed lock back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a fresh target on. I'm going to load up the magazine. We'll go through a couple magazines and we'll see. Just some general thoughts. Pretty nice feel in my hand. Not too much weight when you put it all together. Mechanics seem nice and solid. And again, just general thoughts. Typically, if I have a student out at the range, I like them to load at the firing line, load the pistol at the firing line, not back at the table. So what I'm going to do is kind of walk through this slow. On the top, you do have a loaded chamber. That is indeed up. Safety on the side. Nice, solid, firm lock on that. Not too hard to move up and down especially. I suppose that's probably the most important. All right, so we'll try this again. Trigger pull on this is long. Pulling, 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 pulling. All right, so 5-round group. Looks like about a 2-inch square with one flyer. There is a tendency on this, shooting a total of 5 rounds, to kind of rush the pull. So I'll try and do that better. Brought a whole box, so we're just going to kind of go through this. I'll make comments as I see fit. I had the sequence of the camera back. So we're just gonna walk up here like I just come up here, and we'll start all over again. All right, so we've been at the range. We've done the 1 round just to get used to the pistol. I've loaded the magazine with 5 rounds. I'm shooting at a standard IDPA target with a target I have in the middle of it that I like to use in the classes, so that people can get some idea how they're doing. It has a fairly long trigger pull, so what we're gonna do is stage the trigger partway through and then pull it the last little bit, see how that does for accuracy. Some general thoughts. Not a bad weight loaded. The safety on the side. Releasing it's very easy. Putting it back on, you kind of gotta work at it, but the release would be pretty easy to build into part of your draw process. Does have a loaded indicator on top. Red bar appears on the side when you do have a round in the chamber. With the pinky extender, the grip feels pretty good. Fits nice in my hand. So we'll try this here. We're going to stage the trigger, and then a slow pull towards the back. Pretty nice grouping. We'll look at the target when we're all done, but I'd say probably a 2-inch group, something like that, on the target. So I'm going to stop the camera, go reload, and we'll be back. As you can see, going back and forth to reload with just one magazine is a bit of a pain. I'll be glad when I get the rest of them in. Just so you know, I'm shooting a 115 grain full metal jacket 9mm Ruger round. Nothing tricky. We'll do another 5 rounds here. The recoil isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's pretty straightforward, or pretty straight back rather. Not a lot of rise that I can feel, so it feels pretty good. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to replace this target. Since I've had my practice on this, I'll put a new target up, and then I think I've got 10 to 15 rounds back. We'll shoot those off, and then we'll go look at the target and see how it turned out. All right, so we got a new target up. You don't have to see all my learning experiences with it. One more 5-round magazine. We'll just kind of take this nice and slow. Not bad. You'll see the target when we're done. All right, after this magazine I have 4 rounds left. I don't have 5 for some reason. So again, 5 rounds, 21 feet with the new Ruger LC9. That was better. Down to 1.5 inch group, all within the 4-inch circle. Firmer grip, a little more tension in the hands. I assume that's just because it's a lighter pistol. There's not as much mass to absorb the recoil. There's absolutely no problem ejecting it like you do have, ejecting the spent cartridge like you do have sometimes in a Glock. Plenty of power there to get the spent casing out. All right, so I have 4 rounds left. We're going to do that, and then we'll show you the target. All right, so adjustments I'm going to make this time: firmer grip, more tension in the arms, a little more forward stance. We'll see how it, and a slow pull, a quick stage and a slow pull. Much better that time. All right, so we're going to show you the target so you can see what this little guy looked like here. We'll see how easy this all comes off. Actually, tell you what, I wanted to show you the difference between the 9mm LC9 and my standard carry pistol, the Glock 36. I brought 2 magazines, 5 rounds each. We'll go through that quick, and then you can kind of see the differences between the two. All right, Glock 36, standard 230 grain full metal jacket, 45 caliber ACP. I do have the extender on this, so I can put 7 rounds in a magazine as opposed to 6. Again, like I said, I only put 5 rounds in 2 magazines. I have another magazine in my pocket, so I don't have to go back to the table. And we'll just see how this goes. I guess one thing I make a comment on, if you go from a pistol with a really long trigger pull to one that stages almost immediately, you need to pay attention because the round goes off pretty quick. All right, so I'm going to shut the camera down, take the top off it here so I can move it over, and I'll show you what the targets look like. All right, so this is a standard IDPA target. The target I use in my classes is just an 8.5 by 11, 8-inch circle, 4-inch circle, 1-inch circle, so a student can see on 4-inch grids kind of how they're shooting. You can see I had one flyer outside, all the rest were within the 0. Larger holes, of course, are the 45. Not bad, and that is something I have to watch on my trigger pull. I have a tendency to shoot left and low just a little bit, usually about an inch or so. So that's what that's showing. But all in all, not a bad group for the first time out on the range. General thoughts that I have on the LC9, very compact, very firm, sturdy feeling piece. The trigger pull you're just going to have to get used to. What I did finally towards the end was I'd probably stage it real fast 3/4 of the way back and then come the last quarter slow and steady. Required a little firmer grip than the Glock 36. The Glock 36, of course, obviously has much more of a recoil than the LC9. It doesn't have much mass either compared to like my Springfield 1911, which has a lot more mass. You hardly even notice the recoil. But with the LC9, the recoil certainly was manageable. You could get rounds on target very well. Again, for a traditional personal defense objective of a pistol that can put rounds on the target within 21 feet, I'd say it's pretty decent. The next step on this, we'll do a video of the takedown and cleaning, so you can kind of get some idea of what that's like. We'll see if we can't get that up in the next couple days. Again, this is Bill with Eastern Iowa Firearms Training. Thanks for your time. Hope you like this video. If you have some thoughts, leave some comments. If you have some suggestions, leave those as well, and we'll do our best over time to make these videos worthwhile for you and fun to do for me. Thanks much. We'll catch you later.